Welcome to the FMCG Guys, the podcast that dives into the innovation, strategy, and trends shaping consumer goods and retail in Europe and beyond.
Welcome to the FMCG Guys podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Torres. This is the first time you tune in. You'll want to know that we are the top consumer goods and retail podcast in Europe. It's not only me that says it. It's our, probably by the time this airs, 24,000 LinkedIn followers and our thousands of monthly downloads as well. So check out our website, www.fmcgguys.com, and you can check out the more than 200 consumer goods and retail leaders we've spoken with so far. There's actually also a search bar where you can find based on topics. So go ahead, or if you want to find something specific, just get in touch with me, easy. When we started the year with my co-hosts, Efrain and Christina, who can't join me today, unfortunately, we decided to focus on marketing as one of the core functions we wanted to focus on this year. I think we've said it multiple times, there's never been a more exciting time to be in the function, yet at the same time more challenging. And for this reason, we're doing an effort to bring senior brand leaders from consumer goods and today actually from fashion retail to gather their thoughts on the function and see where the future of branding is going. So today, all the way from Herzogenaurach, Germany, is Benoit Menard. He's the regional marketing director for Europe at Puma. Hey Benoit, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm very happy to be there. Thank you to invite me.
No, my pleasure. My pleasure. I said Herzogenaurach. I don't know if you live there or if you live around the area.
Between Herzogenaurach and today I am in Strasbourg, in France, east of France.
How far is it? How far is Strasbourg?
It's just 4 and 30 minutes by car. So, yeah.
Excellent.
And we used to travel a lot, in Europe, in Germany, France, to visit different countries. So it's part of the game.
Excellent. So Benoit, for the audience to get familiarized with you, and obviously I'm going to leave your LinkedIn profile in the show notes if anyone wants to spy on you while they listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about your current role at Puma?
Yes. So I am in this position now during the last 4 years. And, from Erzo with my team, we are leading the marketing, the brand for the big European markets. And in each market, you have some marketing director with their amazing team. The business of Puma, first Puma, we are the fastest sport brand in the world. So our DNA is really sports. We are, in the big sport like football, running, basketball, track and field. And the other part of the business, as you said at the beginning of the introduction, is more about lifestyle, fashion, sport style, etc. So we try to engage the market in the same direction. We try to engage to have one common plan in Europe. We are a truly believer about what we call local. My benchmark is Netflix. I always use this one because, Netflix, there are 3 or 4 big TV shows that everybody watch in the world during 1 year. Lupin, Casa de Papel, etc. So you have this big milestone. But after, in each market, you have the local content production, series, etc. And it's exactly what we want to do in Puma. You have a big launch, big story, etc. But after, the power of the localization is super important. So we work very closely with the market to make sure they cascade the big story, but their superpower is the localization. And I truly believe on this one. After what happened after COVID, the craziness of the world, localization is so important. But the consumer still to have some big story on the same time everywhere in the world.
And we'll talk about it later, but I guess it goes very much in sync with the challenge of being relevant to the consumer, no? And you have to be relevant to them with global elements, but also with very local elements, because the microcosmos of each country, especially for us in Europe, is still very different, isn't it?
Yes, correct. That's why it's really important to have in a local market, some specialists, some people that they are connected, with the trend, with the consumer, the influencer, the retailer, the media, the blogger, etc. It's super important that they have people, they are roots in the culture of the city. It's it's a big point.
And you come from France originally?
Yes.
Maybe
yes.
the accent, your name and the accent maybe gave it away a little bit. Can you tell us, tell me a bit about like how you started your career? I think when we had a call before the podcast, you told me that you're not necessarily a person that when you were a student, they would have said they would have become a director, right?
No. But as I told you, when I used to be kids, like a lot of young boys, I used to play football. And my dream was to become a professional football player. But after, the first training session, I immediately realized that I will never be a football player because there used to be some kids that they are stronger than me. But I say, I really want to stay in this magic world of sport, etc. So it was always in my mind. And when I was student, I was always part, about the organization to set up the tournament, basketball tournament, football tournament, even if I used to play in the local football team, etc. And after, when I start my career in the advertising agency, and this is the first advice that I want to give to the young people, go in an advertiser company because they love young people, they give the chance, etc. But I always try to manage to work on the client that they are linked to sport. Coca-Cola, Powerade, Peugeot, Crédit Lyonnais, etc. And I was always the first to say, hey, I want to run this pitch. Hey, I want to run this campaign because there is a link with the sport. And I spent 10 years in the advertising agency. And one day I decided to quit, the advertising agency to move to the French Federation of Basketball, and say, I will put my first feet in the world of sport. And after I spent 2 years on the French basketball national team, managing the marketing, e-com, etc. And after I moved to Canal+. Canal+ is a French PTV, big company, always linked with the sport, etc. And after I moved to Adidas, and after I moved to Puma. So it's really important because I know there is a lot of young people, girls, boys, they want to get inside this industry. You need to be patient. It must be the obsession and take all the opportunity, to write the storytelling about your curriculum vitae, etc. Because sport could be everywhere, even some insurance companies. So
yeah, I think that's too many times. And, I don't think it's probably out of like not knowing how the industry works. I think people misunderstand working for sports with having to work with the final product, either with one of the big sports brands or with a club or with a federation. When, as you said, an agency is a great way to work or a brand because you can do sports market and probably a federation. I don't know if it's the best school to learn business. No, well, you tell me, how were you 2 years in the basketball federation?
But first I am a big fan of basketball, and it was the beginning of Tony Parker. I don't know if you know. Yeah.
Yes.
So he was drafted in NBA, and he was always close to the French national team. So it was the beginning of the saga. And Tony Parker, changed completely the face of the basketball in France and the national team. So for me, it was amazing, to be close of this generation, etc. But even working in a federation, it's another world. It's more political, you have a lot of rules to follow. But it was a learning curve, and every day it was a big shake before the world of agencies. You move, about the craziness the freedom, the liberty, no rules universe to this one. So it was a super interesting experience. I learned a lot. I was close to the national team, to watch them during the training, the scout session, etc. So it was a good experience. And I have still connected with very good friends, that they are still managing the marketing, the branding, about the French national team, and they did an amazing job. And now they are Victor Wemby, that there is a new game changer. So now it's cool.
Yeah, I guess that it's, as you said, if you're a basketball fan and you work, your day to day is to be in contact with the players and a superstar like Tony Parker. I mean, who doesn't know Tony Parker? And I'm not even a basketball fan, but he was one of the top players in the NBA.
Yeah.
Also, he was married to Eva Longoria, which gave him, I think, even more of a superstar status.
And I have an amazing anecdote about Tony Parker and his father that prove his DNA about the family. One day, I was in my office at the French Federation, and my office was close to the coffee machine. And the father of Tony Parker, he came in my office. He said, "Oh, hello, sir. Sorry. I would like to have a coffee and I have no money." So I give him €1. He takes his coffee. And 3 months ago, he came back on our office. He came to me and he said, "Sir, you give me €1 3 months ago. I give you back this euro." I said, no, it's a pleasure. The guys, 3 months after, he remembered that and he get back to give me just this €1 coffee. And when you realize that this is the father of this champ, you understand, the value and the DNA of Tony Parker. It was, it was super important. Sometimes you are close to the big star, etc. And you have someone that you say, whoa.
Yeah, I think that having values, I think you have people with values and without values at all levels of society. I don't know. Abstraction. How was it for you? Because you worked, as you said, agency, Canal Plus, a federation, before you came into the industry. So you came into the industry in Adidas when you had quite a lot of experience. Did it feel very different, or was it easy to adapt?
Between
when you joined Adidas?
Adidas, yeah. No. Alors, when I joined Adidas, Adidas is one of the stronger brands in the world, with Nike, Puma, etc. And it was in a good moment because it was the first time that they stopped the contract with the French football national team. So it was the kind of revolution, because the French national team used to be with Adidas during the last 40 years.
When they won the World Cup, the Euro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I used to have an amazing GM, Alain Poursolo, and Guillaume de Montplanet, and other boss, Nicolas Favre. And they take this challenge like an amazing opportunity to reinvent the way that we did the marketing. And they decide to sign all the other national symbols, the national rugby team. They still have the national handball team. We sign after the national basketball team. We sign some national champ like Karim Benzema, Teddy Riner, etc. And we decide, to create a platform that we used to call All Blue, and to fight versus Nike and the French national football, and say, French national sport is not only football. Look, and we push that. We make a lot of ambush, etc. It was amazing, and also, it was the beginning of the acceleration about the influencer, social media, localization with the battle of the key city and Paris, etc. So, it was an amazing moment. Every day, based on a global strategy, we have the freedom to test and learn to go on the new content, social media, to start to work. It was the beginning of the influencer and the blogger. And with my team was amazing. Romain, Julien, Jérémy. Every day they came with the new topic, new idea. They meet some new blogger, etc. Vraiment, it was you receive a roadmap of freedom. It was crazy. I could give you
you turned like an unfavorable situation into a positive one in some way.
Yes. You know, there is a lot of high level in terms of execution, lot of pressure, etc. But also, they used to give us a lot of trust. You know, it was, and I remember I had also an amazing anecdote. I was in a company just since 3 months. And the morning I wake up and there is a message on my smartphone coming from my general manager. The text I remember, David Beckham will sign to Paris Saint-Germain. He's the face of the brand. What will be your plan? Wow. You wake up like this. I say, wow. I was in a company, just during 3 months. So I regroup with my team. We have a brainstorming, etc. And we say, guys, there is only one French Galactic that could present a British Galactic to the Parisian. This is Zizou, Zinedine Zidane. So we decide, we contact, the guys in the Adidas HQ, Greg Fernandez, who used to manage Zinedine Zidane. And we say, we have a crazy idea. We bring Zidane in Paris in the Adidas store and he will welcome David Beckham to the French people. And he said, okay, let's go. We talked to Zizou. Zizou was okay, etc. And it was amazing. We bring all the media, all the blogger, etc. in the store of Adidas. We in one night, we changed all the rollout for all the media. It was amazing. And on this moment, you receive a strong brief, but you could set up something crazy, etc. And we did several times this kind of craziness. No, it was good.
Wow.
Because it was the beginning of the content, social media, blogger, etc.
Yeah, and it just comes to show that in this time, to be relevant, you don't need to necessarily have a lot of money. You need to read the situations well and act fast as well and decisively.
Yeah. What you said is really important compared to today. Because 5 or 10 years ago, the king was the organic. Now, with the new platform, the battle of the search, the battle of the social audience, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, etc. To generate visibility only with organic, it's really hard. You need to pay, you need to go on the social ad, Google ad, etc. And it was really the difference versus now. Now it's a battle of audience. You told me that you were in Cannes last week and you say Amazon, Snapchat, Meta, they were the king of the croisette, because, and it was really where the difference between a few years ago.
And what made you change from Adidas to Puma? The $1 million question.
Yeah. I used to spend 5 years to Adidas. And after there is the opportunity, the job of marketing director for Puma came on the market. I meet the general manager, Richard Tessier. And he bring me a challenge to say, okay, Puma, it's a challenger brand. We need to accelerate on the French market, etc. You will become marketing director. You will enter in the executive committee. You need to reinvent the marketing structure, etc. So it was more the challenge. And I move on that. And to be honest with you, also, I used to have some ex-colleagues that they used to be to Adidas and moved to Puma, so you could discuss with them. it's really important sometimes to take risk and to reinvent yourself. And also I say, but to take the position of marketing director, you will do more executive stuff, strategy, etc. Because 10 years before I get back to school to make an executive MBA to SCP Paris, Europe, and I used to learn theory, and I say with this position, I could do practice. No, so it was a challenge, and it was amazing, and I was very lucky because when I joined Puma France, they won the Olympique de Marseille contract versus Adidas.
Mm-hmm.
So Olympique de Marseille used to be with Adidas during the last 40 years, moved to Puma, and it was my first challenge, my first brief. Lot of pressure, but amazing land of flame, and Richard Tessim, and general manager, was unbelievable because he gave me the freedom. He said, okay, work on your plan, etc. We used to work also with the global team, and we came with an amazing project. We create an amazing film video with a little company based in Marseille, HVH. That, the first jersey, the inspiration of the jersey was inspired by the Mediterranean Sea, with the water, etc. So we make an amazing movie where, like Mad Max, every star comes from a amazing boat to attack, to go in the city. And we put Diego Maradona in the movie because there is a myth during the last 50 years when I was kid that one day Maradona will play in Marseille. Olympique de Marseille. So it was always this legend. And we say that Diego used to be, a legend of Puma. We bring back Puma, Diego in Marseille, etc. The movie, the video was incredible. We have 1 billion reach, and we did an amazing event in Marseille. And in 10 days, front of the Marseille consumer, we wash their brand versus 40 years of partnership with the Adidas and with some new stuff, etc. So, no, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, Olympique Marseille is a team. Apart from being very popular, I don't know if it's the most popular team in France, but if it's not number one, it's number two. But it's definitely the most passionate football team in France with the most fans by far, I would say.
Yeah. You're right. You have two teams. You have Paris Saint-Germain and Marseille. And I used to say, it's like East Coast and West Coast. It's more like a team. It's a way of thinking, a way of life, etc. And
I would say it's a bit like establishment and anti-establishment, even. To some degree. So, I mean, it's a centralized Paris, very new club as well. I think it was only founded in the 70s. Well, Marseille, the South, the ports, the working class.
Yes.
For us that like football, it is one of these football teams that make the sport very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's like Barcelona and Madrid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm a die-hard Barca fan, so
I know. That's
I can relate.
Yeah.
What do you think in your career when you think back, or when you think currently even, what do you think are like the core traits, but also soft skills that have made you successful? That have made you become a senior marketing director?
Yeah. I am a big fan about people. For me, the most important, it's management, recruiting the great people, spend time with them, train them. I used to push my team to take some risks. Sometimes this big company, you have a lot of pressure, and I say, hey guys, calm down. We don't save life. We just sell shoes. So calm down, take risks, test. I trust them. I push them. So it's really important. I had the chance in my career. I don't have your experience in recruitment, but maybe I used to recruit 100 people.
Well, that's quite a lot. I mean, that's more than I've recruited, maybe. So it's a lot of people.
Yeah. And I'm still connected with them. even if we are not working, and I truly believe you could have the best vision, the best strategy, the best operational plan. If you don't have the right people, if you don't take care about people, you can take care about figure, finance, etc. But the most important is people, and push them, develop them, showcase them, etc. So, and my vision of management is saying, you need to give them a direction. You need to be very precise to say, guys, for 3 days, I want this recommendation, how we are going to launch the new jersey of Olympique de Marseille with the key data. But after, let them do. And I am really close to the team. I used to answer when I receive a message. It takes me maybe 30 seconds to answer, to say yes, no. And after, let them. So, to answer to your question, really the power of people. And after, the creativity. And this one now, it's a challenge with the social audience, the number of good examples that you have in the world, the AI, etc. But you need to be connected to the right people. And I really believe now, the purpose of the marketing team is not doing the stuff. It's scout the best talent. Because, for example, maybe we need to have the specialists of basketball in Barcelona. So you need to find the young kids that, she could have 16 or he could have 16 years. After another topic, the specialist of the manga culture in Paris, so more than 20 years ago, the marketing team, they used to be experts about, they know the trends, create the content, etc. Now it's impossible. It's more, you are a scout. You need, to be connected. Yeah. I totally believe about the open source, about agency,
and it's a bit what the example of Marseille that you gave, right? You didn't go with a big agency, but you found a local Marseille agency. I guess you were looking for real connection with the city and relevance, no? At the end of the day.
Yeah. So, power of people, creativity, connection, and the last one, you need to work a lot. Because, more you have a stronger position, you are close to, I used to call them the big fish in a company, the board, etc. And I used to say to my team, guys, when we have meeting with them, they have so many topics. You need to be ready. It's like a Champions League game. You couldn't say, sorry, yesterday I don't wake up. I don't have time to manage what you request to me. No, it's impossible. We are in a sport industry, the high level, when you have a Champions League game, you need to be ready. So it's true that sometimes you need to work a lot to be ready, prepare. And the last skills, and it's really important when you work in HQ, you need to spend time in the market. You need to spend time with the consumer. You need to spend time with the local team. You need to put your feet in a store. It's super important because sometimes you could be disconnected because you stay in the HQ, you have a lot of requests, meetings, etc. And this is the challenge. This is really the challenge. So that's why I used to push my team every 2 months, go in the market, make a retail tour, be curious. This is,
Because also we all live in our own bubble within the total, and what our reality, the reality is that it's a small percentage of the total population, the addressable population at the end of the day, no?
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. Actually, when you took over the marketing role for Puma, that coincided also with the pandemic years. How did you manage that particular situation?
Yeah. For me, it's not a good memory because, I need the other people to be happy. I need a connection, etc. So to be at home, we used to spend 10 hours in vision, etc. But the company was amazing because, we used to say, forever faster, and we move immediately in a faster component with all the employee. We push .com, Puma.com. My marketing team every day they used to come with a new idea about social media, about podcast, about video, about e-sport, video game, etc. So we used to be very active. All the executive board member, the GM, they manage the business like hell. We continue to sell online, etc. We were very, very active, faster versus the other brand. That the other brand, they were bigger, so it's it's very hard when you are bigger to move fast. And and Puma take care about their employees, in a very good way, with a lot of connection. The manager spend a lot of time with people, etc. But personally, it was not a good moment.
No, yeah. As a fellow extrovert, Benoit, I can identify with that. At least the results for Puma in that time period were phenomenal. Like the growth that they had was out of the, so.
Yeah, because we were the faster to adapt, to react, to continue to push product to the retailer for their .com, the pure player. No, it was good.
Yeah. And how are you balancing, like in this current state that we are? There's a big debate between, performance marketing, and it's a bit what we were talking about, maybe, and more like being tactical and reading certain social phenomenons and then applying the brand to that. How do you marry that with like, what's called brand building, focusing a lot on the brand and having a very solid positioning, long-term thinking and vision and so on?
Yeah, it's a very good question, and I could guarantee to you, this is the actual challenge to all the marketing people in the planet, in all the industry. And I'm very basic, and my definition of the marketing, I say, the goal of marketing is to prepare the sales of today and tomorrow. The goal of marketing is to prepare the sales of today and tomorrow. And this is the ambiguity about your role. And when the business is tough, because we are in a challenging moment of the business, we have a lot of competitors, it's aggressive. So you need to be focused about the marketing performance, the tactic, the trend marketing, the COP budget. You need to be reactive, etc. But if you are only obsessed, focused on that, it will be a short vision. So that's why, and the Puma global marketing team, they put a lot of effort to rebuild the brand, the DNA of the brand, focus of sport performance, etc. A lot of investment to build the brand. But you need to manage the both. You need to track with data. You need to be very agile, tactic, because sometimes you receive a request, why with this retailer, the results are not good, so you need to allocate budget, etc. But this is the ambiguity of the role now. But I have a conviction that during the last 3 or 4 years, during the last 10 years, the social media helped to create the strong brand. But during the last 2 or 3 years, they didn't help, because it was the diktat of content every day, speed content, short content, Reel, TikTok, Instagram, etc. Because the audience was there. So you need to feed the audience, but I don't believe that you create a DNA, a strong brand with short content, but you need to be there. So that's why I saw it, I feel it, that there is a strong comeback about the traditional media, TV, out of home, audio podcast, and you are here.
That's good.
Yeah. You know that the consumer now, they consume lot of content, but also, for example, podcast is a major trend. And to listen a podcast, you need 1 hour, 2 hours. It's crazy that the Gen Z, this generation, they say, no, I will take 2 hours to listen to the podcast. So the media, traditional media, they are coming back. On top of that, after COVID, it was full digital, but now real life, real community, traditional event, it's super important. You can see the data. All the stadium, they are packed. All the concerts, you see the Dua Lipa tour. It's crazy. Everybody,
crazy, yeah.
Yeah. Theater, movie, etc. Even if digital, the people, they spend between 2 or 4 hours on the smartphone. They want to be in a real life. And I think real event, strong experience. Last summer with Puma in Paris, we have during 2 weeks the Puma House. We booked an amazing hotel. Every day we used to have, a lot of event activation with our assets.
The Olympics.
During Olympics in Paris. And we have a quote. We used to say, what happened in Puma House don't need to stay in Puma House. It's not like in Vegas. So everything what happened in Puma House, the social team creates some content to push all over the world, etc. So coming back about your question, I don't have the answer, but the marketing team director, you need to manage versus long-term, short-term performance, etc. And it takes time to build a strong brand. And sometimes, you say, no, it will take 5-10 years, but consistency is super important. And when you are pressure under the business, it's hard for marketing people to manage the consistency and not to be, we need a new offer, a new product, we need to change, etc. But all the brands are front of this. The industry.
And it's a challenge because very rarely do people stay more than 5 years in a row, not even 3 years times.
Yeah. So correct.
You really need to have the commitment of the top leadership, the ownership, the board, whoever's really gonna be there for the long run to stick to that.
Yeah. But because you love football, I'm thinking about that. It's like a football coach. You see now in the big team in Europe, the turnover of the coach. You have 1 or 2 football coach like Pep Guardiola. He stayed in Manchester City. Klopp, he used to stay in Liverpool. But you can see the turnover of number of coach because you have a team that they start to lose. You fire the coach. There is a new coach. He will arrive with a new process, new mindset, methodology. He will change the team, but maybe just during 1 season. So he took the team on a very bad situation. In 10 games, he changed the team. They are qualified for the Champions League. They restart the new season. He start to lose. We change. So I really believe about what you say is true. It's like in marketing now in our world, it's really hard for a leader in football, coaching, in marketing, CEO, etc. You come with your point of view, methodology, etc. to continue to involve, to manage your player, your team, your consumer. This is the challenge of our new world because everything is so fast. People are losing attention.
Yeah.
You can take the attention consumer to your team. Maybe 6 months, 1 year after you need. Well, you need to reinvent yourself all the time.
Totally. I think that it's just like, you need to be a critical thinker in a time of like misinformation, and you need to be a long-term thinker in the time of short-termism. No, I think that's like super, super key to keep in mind. Another question that I have for you that's kind of also a conundrum, I think, in the industry and specifically for marketers, is like the divide between being data-driven and and then being gut feel-driven. How do you feel about that divide?
It's like in football. A coach, no, it's true. You know, now in each game, you have a lot of data. You know, they track the player during the match, during the training, etc. You have some data specialists.
I think Borussia Dortmund is especially well known for the methodology.
Yeah. In NBA, NFL, NHL, you know, this is the kingdom of the data, you know, now. So when you are managing now marketing with the digital, and also traffic in a store, you have a lot of data. So it's good. And you are challenging by your boss about return of investment, etc. But it's like a coach. If you don't have the vision, the pleasure of playing football, you know, I'm a big fan about Guardiola, Arsène Wenger, Aimé Jacquet, etc. You manage by data, but after you need to bring something more magical, your vision. And even with your vision or magical pleasure, sometimes you will fail. You will make mistake, but it's really important to have the both. So in your team, you could have some data expert that they will be very like, they are called to take decisions. But in the world of sport and the world of marketing, emotionality is very important, you know, and the challenge of every brand you know, I'm French. I like to speak about love. So l'amour, comme on dit, it's to become a love brand. This is the dream of every marketing director, quoi. And it's not only with data. It's, magic, emotionality, etc. And you see the best copy, the best marketing story. It's when you touch the emotionality of the consumer, the heart of the consumer, and not only the brain that he will buy some product. Even if the best experience for a brand that the consumer will buy the product and wear the product. This is my VP who used to say, Richard Tessé. It's, you know, he used to say that the best experience for the brand will be when the consumer will buy the product and use the product. This is, you know, when you did that, he used to say that to me all the time, and I think he's right. But you need to have emotionality. It could be cry, it could be love, it could and
just that excitement, getting a product out of the box or the bag and putting it on, and being like, wow, that's a great moment.
Exactly.
That when in the time that you can buy things for no money at all, and I know that a lot of people buy things all the time, to create that connection is probably more difficult or when maybe you bought clothes 3 times a year, no?
Yes. And due to the fact that the consumer, they receive so much message. So much message in the street, in digital, it's crazy. How you will make the difference?
Yeah. So with that in mind, you mentioned before that you think that marketers will need to be great scouters, like finding those micro influencers, those agencies that have relevance. Is there anything else that you think marketing leaders will have to have, or that you specifically look for when you're recruiting for like your marketing leadership positions?
Alors, as I told you, I truly believe when I build a marketing team, I'm more interested by the personality of the people. If they don't have the hard skill, but they have the soft skill and they want to learn, go on this, take these people, because it will be easy to increase the hard skill versus the soft skills, you know. So, and after the challenge for a marketing director, also with intelligence artificial now, social media, etc. It's how you manage all the trends, the information that you receive. How you will have time, you know, sometimes to breathe. You know, you told me, Ben, you were not in Cannes last week. I said, no, I couldn't because I have some meeting. And I think it's a mistake. You need to re-energize, you know, yourself, meet people, etc. So the challenge, you receive so many requests, so many information that people, could you bring some good stuff? but because you have your workload, you have so this is the challenge. Because marketing must be on the heart of each company. You need to bring them the newness, to explore the future, etc. And this is the challenge way, how you are still connected to this new world, but every day you have something new.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you could spend years meeting all these gold, silver solution providers, right?
Yeah.
It's not enough time. So there's this one question that we ask all our guests in this podcast, which is, if you had to go back to your younger self when you were starting your career, and with everything that you've learned so far, what would be that one piece of advice you would give yourself?
Always believe about your dream. It took me 10 years to go in this industry. I remember I applied 5 times to Adidas, and it was after 10 years that I had the interview. So always believe on you. It must be an obsession. Take all the opportunity. For example, it's amazing because all the sport retailers, Intersport, Decathlon, GD, Foot Locker, they ask for young people, So even when you are students and if you want to work in the sport industry and you need a student job versus to work to McDonald's, and I don't say it's bad to work in McDonald's, go in Decathlon, Intersport, etc. So it's super important. And after, the advice that I give to young people, because I receive a lot of requests for young people on my LinkedIn, and I try to spend time and to answer to them. When you have the interview, never start by, I'm a fan of sport. I like sport. No. Start, I am a specialist of marketing. Because, I am a specialist of sport marketing. Because, no. It's super important. Put yourself immediately, even if you are a rookie, like a marketing expert and not a fan. Why you want to work for Puma? Because I am a fan of Olympique de Marseille. No, I don't give a shit. No. I want to work for Puma because I'm a specialist about the TikTok. I am a TikTok content producer. I used to work with the French national basketball during Euro et products, etc. It's super important. And and take all the opportunity you could have to feed your CV, to have this link with sports. And now it's easy to meet some people, to follow some training. Always update your skills, like a football player or basketball player. Never stop.
Well, any professional of any walk of life, even, I would say it's good to always be open to learning, open for feedback, and to I think that most people that have done well in their career, it's not because they've chased their money, and they've chased the learning experiences, and the money is just, and the seniority and title just follows later, right? So Benoit, I'm gonna try to summarize this conversation. A lot of takeaways. I really like the fact that you said that the marketing that inspires you is Netflix and the local philosophy. So that's super interesting. Also, I like the fact that when you were a student, you already got involved in organizing tournaments, etc. I think that it's important to, when you're a student, to not just study and do things outside of your studies, as you said, maybe work at Decathlon, for example, or whatnot, because that will also prepare you much better for the professional work. Your career, obviously, very interesting, advertising, the Basketball Federation, Canal Plus, and then going into Adi and Puma, which is very unlike, we've interviewed over 200 people here, and you've had quite a unique career background. The very interesting examples of what you did at Adidas, turning around the situation of losing the French national team, and then Puma France taking over Olympique Marseille, which I think it's a great marketing story, but as a football fan, even better. We talked also about your management philosophy, and you talked about helping people take risks and test, fostering creativity, and that marketing managers should be great at scouting talent, and how important it is to be close to the market, put your foot in the store, because being disconnected is a risk. We talked obviously about the debate between brand building and performance. A very big challenge, obviously, but obviously I think brand building and long-term thinking, if you do the right bits, it's what ends up winning the game. And yeah, we talked about also the difference between data and gut feel, which was an interesting one. This is one of these episodes I think is worth going back to. And also about the importance of like how important it is to be doing marketing as much as we spend a lot of time on our phones, to do like the real life, real community, traditional events. When we talked about like stadium concerts, a lot of physical experience that are very full right now. Everybody's traveling as well. So Benoit, very interesting. Maybe next time we can do another episode of AI marketing.
Yeah.
You are probably surprised. It's a typical question you must get all the time.
Sorry, say again?
It's a question you must get all the time, I imagine.
Yeah.
No, and last thing, by the way, marketing is love. I think that's a very nice one. So, Benoit, thanks so much for joining.
Thank you. And keep in touch.
Perfect. Well, thanks to our audience for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode of the FMCG, guys. Have a great day.